Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with Chucho. Today we're going to be making smoked Gouda goodness. Alright. Chucho's been doing a really good job cooking with me, eating the food, so I have upgraded him to Chef Chucho. Now, there's his little hat. So we're gonna start off with the cheese sauce. We're gonna be using smoked Gouda. So if you come over here, you can see the different cheeses we have. We have smoked Gouda. It's a mild moisture cheese with some Parmesan, freshly grated Parmesan cheese. It's a dry moisture. And then we're also gonna be adding some cream cheese to add that creamy factor on it. I love shallots, like you've seen in my episodes before, and I also love garlic. So I'm gonna incorporate this, make a little roux, and let's get that started. We're gonna chop these shallots really fine. So you wanna make sure you chop up the shallots nice and fine, really small. You can also use a food processor or like a Nutrimix, NutriBullet, where it just chops them up super fast. We're also gonna chop up some garlic and again, make that very fine. So you wanna make sure that you turn on the oven nice and hot. Get that fire rolling. And we're gonna make a roux, so we're gonna use some butter. We're gonna put like 2 tablespoons of butter. Using good quality butter makes such a difference. So we're gonna put that on there, let that start melting away. Once that's all melted, you can add the shallots. We're gonna go ahead and add the shallots. What we're gonna do with the shallots, we're just going to sweat them. Right now with those shallots cooking and that butter, you can start smelling it so good. How does that smell, Mooch? Does it smell good? Do you like it? Yeah? I think Mooch's favorite cheese is the Gouda cheese. He thinks it's just so Gouda. That's so lame when I'm just doing it. Alright, so once the shallots are nice and sweat, we're gonna add some of that garlic in here, and we're just gonna let that saute just for a second. When I'm making a roux, for every tablespoon of butter, I like to also add a tablespoon of flour. We're gonna add some flour and let that start mixing in there. So once your roux is nice and a little bit of golden, it's not super dark, it's not white, we're gonna go ahead and add some cream. You can add some milk. I prefer cream because I'm gonna make it super thick. I want this sauce to be really thick, delicious. Now you're gonna start whisking it, and you're gonna notice that this is gonna start getting thicker and thicker. Once you know that it is nice and thick, it's actually, you can grab a spoon. You can grab a spoon, and if it coats to the back, leaves it like that, oh, that is ready. I think Moochie likes it. Do you like it? Yeah? Alright, so now, we're gonna start adding the cheese. We're gonna start adding the cheeses, just one cheese at a time. Start with a Parmesan. And right now, I just turned down the heat to a low, the lowest it can get, because that residual heat is gonna melt the cheeses. So we're gonna go like that, and then we're gonna add the Gouda right on top. Oh yeah. So I started with the hardest cheese, which was the Parmesan, and then I moved on to the Gouda, and then the last cheese I'm just gonna put in the cream cheese. Now you can see how, oh look at that. This is like fondue kind of. Ooh, it's gonna be good. And now we're gonna add the cream cheese. And like I mentioned, I turned it down all the way to the lowest setting just to keep it a little warm, but you can even turn it off because all that residual heat is gonna keep melting it. You're gonna come with this delicious, heavy, very flavorful cheese sauce. I'm gonna stuff some chicken breast with broccoli. So what you want to do is you want to grab a chicken breast, you want to just cut it from the middle. So I'm actually not going to stuff it, I'm going to roll it. So I'm going to cut it right there. You want to make it thinner, and then we're going to pound it out to about this thickness, so a 1/4 inch. So you see some of it is a little thicker. I'm going to pound this side and just kind of make it nice and brown, because then we're going to roll it. You see right here, I pounded out the chicken. Look how thin it is, like that. So I pounded them all out. What I did, I used the mallet. I put a piece of parchment right on top, and then got them all to like a 1/4 inch. For the stuffing, we want to make something that complements that cheesy Gouda, and cheese and broccoli always go well together. So on this tiny little cutting board, I'm gonna try to keep it all, because all we're gonna do is just use the florets on it. Once you cut the florets, we're gonna keep cutting them into even smaller pieces, because we're gonna mix it with the zest of this lemon, some salt and pepper, and that's it. That's all we're gonna do. And then we're gonna wrap it up. That moisture from the chicken is gonna get in there, and then once we put the cheese sauce on top, you don't need any other mixture to go inside it, right, Mooch? Give me paw. Give me paw. Oh no, there we go. Give me paw. Paw. Good boy. We cut up the broccoli into little pieces, and then I put the lemon zest. We're just gonna mix it up a little bit. We're gonna put a little bit of salt, just like so. We're also gonna put some pepper, just like so, and then we're just gonna get it all incorporated. It's a little dry mixture, but it's gonna be delicious. Look at that. So we put off that to the side. We're gonna bring our chicken. We're gonna grab that. We're gonna put a little bit of this broccoli mixture, and then we're just gonna wrap it up like that. We're gonna do that to all these chickens right here. Look at that. So like that. Wrap it up. I do like cooking it on a rack. So it's cooking underneath, and it's also cooking from above. So that's one thing that it's important to me, that you cook that in a rack. Okay, so now I put the stuffed chicken in a rack. So the reason I was saying about it cooking from underneath, that heat's gonna go underneath it, above it, just around it, and it's just gonna tighten it up. So delicious. Put it in for 20 minutes, 350 degrees, or until you put a thermometer in and it reaches 165. Good boy, Mooch. To accompany our stuffed chicken, I like to pair it up with some asparagus. And this is gonna go very well with that sauce drizzled on top of it. I'm also gonna wrap it in bacon. When it comes to asparagus, you wanna cut off the ends, because you want the nice savory sides, the nice soft sides on the top. So what I do, I kinda like to bend it, and where it breaks off, that's usually where it's good to go. So, see where it's at? Yeah, so. To coat these, we're gonna keep it simple. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna put a little bit of salt, some pepper. It may seem a little odd, but I'm actually gonna put some horseradish sauce. Ooh, this is, it's good. So we're just gonna put on top like that. And now, I like to get a little dirty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just rub it everywhere. Trust me, this is gonna be amazing. Now don't just get the top, the middle. Also try to get the very tops. What I like to do is I'm gonna grab them, and then I'm gonna wrap them in bacon. And the wrap is just gonna be in the middle. Nothing too fancy. We're gonna keep them like that. So there you go. We're gonna put them in the oven. Cook it alongside that chicken, 350 degrees. It will take maybe like 15 minutes. Keep an eye on the bacon. Once it starts getting really crispy, then that's good to take it out. So I took everything out of the oven. Look at this chicken. Oh, it's nice and firm. It didn't even, nothing happens, you see? It hugged it, so you didn't have to put a toothpick in it or anything like that. There's not a lot of color on the outside. You could have put a little paprika, a little bit of cayenne pepper if you want a little spicy. But I want this cheese sauce to be the star. I don't want to be able to taste anything but this Gouda cheese sauce. Oh, look at that. And then look at this asparagus. Came out perfect. Look at that. That horseradish sauce on the outside gave it a nice little creaminess. Oh, and it's gonna have that little spice, but with this Gouda to kind of calm it down, it's gonna be so delicious. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just kind of cut it up and plate it, and then we'll see you when I'm about to have some food. Take a look at this. Look at this. So what I did, I put a bed of that cheese on the bottom, sliced up the stuffed chicken, placed it on top, along with the asparagus, and then just crumbled a little bit more of the bacon. Let's take a look. All right. So I'll put a little bit of that cheese sauce in it. Oh. Yeah. And that's the way Chucho taught me how to cook.